What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sports Wheelhouse here on the AAT Sports Network. What do you do, everybody? So JD's on drugs now. I am Chip at Chip of the Birds and Umpire Stories, and as always, joined by JD at D2M Pods and Kegheads _TM. We are about to get into some things tonight, and this could be one to watch, people, because you just got a tooth pulled?
Yeah, like I just got a tooth pulled today, man. That thing was hurting me so bad for the last 2 weeks. Last week I was on copious amounts of Tylenol, and this week the tooth is out. But I sound like I have lots of gauze packed in. I don't want dry socket, so
this could be hilarious. And like
I'm not on meds though.
I appreciate you holding off on the meds. But like if you want to take like meds like 15 minutes in and then just see where the show goes from there.
Yeah, I'm trying not to do that.
We could. It'd be a show to see.
You ever seen that show Drunk History?
Yes.
That's phenomenal.
That's like a top tier show. So what we do is we got a wheel, we're gonna spin the wheel, we're gonna talk about stuff. We got some shenanigans, we got all kinds of crazy things to talk about.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Spin. Great topic to start. So, while we know we're going to spend some time talking about the NFL, MetLife Stadium claimed another victim last night.
Yes.
Now, I understand that a lot of the concern is, turf versus grass and things like that. But speaking specifically about the New York football stadium in the middle of New Jersey, it just claimed the Achilles tendon of 167-year-old Aaron Rodgers 4 plays into his Jets career.
Rip Van Winkle.
If anything is going to cause them to fix up this field, will it be this?
No, because this is the end of Aaron Rodgers' career.
You think he doesn't come back from this?
Look at players who come back for him in the past. You have Kobe Bryant. He never was the same afterward. Aaron Rodgers is a running quarterback, and without your Achilles, you got.
Is he a running quarterback?
I mean, he's a moving quarterback.
Moving, okay.
You just need to honestly just. From a standpoint of someone who thinks that Aaron Rodgers' career was pretty much at the end of it anyway, this is just going to help usher him into retirement.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, watching it happen, it didn't look bad up until about 612 replays. Literally, you saw it pop-lopping and dropping. I'm saying MetLife Stadium isn't even in New York. That's big enough of a red flag right there. Yeah. 100%. And there's no way way that it rained the night before that field was safe to play on. There's no way.
But that's just it. They got all this money tied into it, and so nobody can think about the precaution of it all or the safety of it all, because they look to lose millions of dollars because there's so much money attached, and they have to make the money or they don't, or they end up screwed over. So
I just think that, in my mind, and we'll never know now, the Jets had a potential to make a deep run this year. They already had a really staunch defense. They had a ton of weapons on offense, and then they bring in an actual quarterback, and he lasts 4 plays. Zach Wilson is not going to lead this team deep on the playoffs. He's just not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, they can also hit the portal and try to get a quarterback.
So that's going to be one of our topics as we go on tonight. But one of the names of quarterbacks throwing themselves into the ring is one thing. So you've got all your usuals. Carson Wentz will probably be a New York Jet by the end of the week if he's in any kind of playing shape. Cam Newton is being thrown in the ring. RG3 said, "Hey, people are talking to me too." No one's talking to you, RG3.
They are.
You know who else they're not talking to? even though he is talking to them. Colin Kaepernick has come out and said that his agent has said that he reached out to the Jets. When does it stop, JD?
It doesn't, because the Jets are a trash can fire.
But they're not. That's the thing. They are an overall good roster with question marks at the quarterback position. And Zach Wilson's not going to answer those questions.
So, like I said, Colin Kaepernick or Cam Newton it is.
I don't know. I think that they have to try to allow Zach Wilson to do things. But again, if nothing else changes.
Johnny Manziel.
Oh, you shut your mouth. If nothing else changes MetLife Stadium, this has to be the thing, right? This has to be the thing.
Yes, you have to.
You know, it's bad when even Packers teammates are coming out and saying, hey, this is really bad. This is not going to continue working. David Bakhtiari, whatever his name is. He goes, how many more of this is going to happen? Darius Slay come out and saying, how much this field is terrible. Like, you've got premier players getting hurt and injured.
Yeah, people are going to stop playing in these games.
Yeah, that's what it's going to come down to. They're going to look at the field conditions, test it out, and go, I'm not banking my entire career off of this field.
What did they just say? We'll take the forfeit.
Yeah, I could see that.
We'll just take the loss because we're not going to put our team in danger.
Like, I remember back a couple years ago, there was a preseason game for the Eagles and the Ravens.
Uh-huh.
And they went out and they looked at the field and they went, nope, we cannot play on this condition. When they shut down the field in Mexico for a preseason game. So why is it in the preseason, it's one thing, but in the regular season, they're willing to put people's careers and livelihoods at risk?
Because it's too much
because of money, and I understand.
It's like a lot of money. Like, they got ticket sales from both teams, TV contracts. Like, it's a whole lot of stuff. Like,
it was the September 11th anniversary. Like, there was so much good storyline around it. And Aaron Rodgers' Jets career lasted 4 plays and 1 flag run out.
It was the worst.
And 1 season of Hard Knocks.
That was the worst. It's probably gonna be a great 30 for 30.
Which ties us in perfectly to overall NFL Week 1. We're going to talk about both of our teams. We're going to talk about the NFL as a whole. We're going to talk about all of it. Because let me tell you, it was one of the worst weeks of football I have ever seen.
It was bad.
It was bad. And we know Week 1 typically is bad, right?
But there's no real preseason.
I want to start with my Eagles.
The Eagles? You from South Philly? You from Delco?
I want to start with my Eagles.
Delco.
If you recall, we did a show and I made a prediction that the Eagles would start off strong, phase out, and then turn it on at the end. The only part of that was wrong was to turn it on at the end.
Yep.
Because they looked explosive on defense early on, could not get anything going offensively. Really, when you look at the numbers, they didn't get anything going offensively. And people are already going, oh, well, Jalen Hurts not. No. We're not going to do this about Jalen Hurts. You have a new play caller. You have new signal callers on both offense and defense. You were dealing with injuries. You were dealing with new players. And you didn't let your starters play a single down in the preseason. It matters.
It matters.
It matters. And you go out against Bill Belichick, who's been preparing for this game for 5 months, and he's a brilliant defensive mind. And I'm definitely concerned if adjustments aren't made. Now, I'm not ready to, raise the alarm and, say everybody needs to be fired like most Philadelphia fans are. But I am willing to say adjustments have to be made or this is not going to be the season that we expect it to be.
I mean, that's very true. I will see your comment and raise you the comment that because preseason is such a joke and players just sit out for whatever reason, you're going to get this type of product in week 1, maybe even week 2. Because there's, it takes a little bit of time to get back moving, running the playbook, running plays, situational football.
Absolutely.
Everybody's a little rusty. I mean, and even if Belichick was still ready, like that team he put out there was not a good team.
No, I mean, defensively, they have a couple players, but I mean, we were exposed in a bunch of different places. Now, Johnny Higgins coming in, and again, we've talked about Jalen Hurts so much with Johnny, and he says, look, it seems like they told Jalen to play it safe. Very possible. The play calling was about as bland as possible. The fact that Dallas Goedert didn't even get a target until the fourth quarter, and it was one of the worst targets of the day, says something. And if you're going to have him slide to avoid contact the rest of the game, why do you call the play? And I hope, Johnny, you're talking about the first down play in the fourth quarter where he was told to quarterback draw it and got absolutely crushed and fumbled the football. That was a bad play call. Every sense of the word.
When it comes to Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, they gotta need some time to there needs to be a maturation period with them because they are having a new play caller. It's not the same. And I'm even willing to say Nick Sirianni might need to take up a play caller for a while just to get some type of continuity because it looks like this new guy's coming in and he's trying to put his identity on this thing, but it just doesn't look good. They're not settled. They're not. Like I said, it's week 1. So, I mean, of course, we can make up that. We can overreact about that all we want, but it's week 1. So, I'm still big on the Eagles, and I still don't think the Cowboys can beat them. So,
I am still huge on the Eagles, right? I think that this Philadelphia Eagles team is still really strong. Now, again, we did not put forth our best effort on tape. We saw, what Jalen Carter can do. That's amazing. We saw that Jake Elliott is still sensational. We saw that Aaron Cypress is not good at all. Still, we're still dealing with punters. We saw that Cam Jurgens is going to need some adjustment when it comes to playing right guard instead of center. Those are all fine, but you've got to get the playmakers the ball. They overused Kenny Gainwell. They underused DeAndre Swift. They healthy scratched Rashad Penny, which because Gainwell is now questionable, they may have to use Penny this week. They didn't use Goddard at all. They forced it to Devontae Smith. They then started forcing it to A.J. Brown. I mean, it just wasn't good play calling. Now, Johnny's saying the play calling actually looked a lot like when Sirianni used to call the plays. And I could see that because Steichen had a couple years, so he got to build to that next level. So it definitely looked like a bit of a step back, but they got to fix it up. And when it's raining as much as it is, you got to be safe with the ball. That's what it comes down to. You got to be safe with the ball. For as bad as the Eagles played, I give more credit to Bill O'Brien. His game plan was exactly how to beat our defense. Yes, the passing, they've got the ball out in under 3 seconds. Mac Jones should never throw for 300 yards in any NFL game. And that ball got out in under 3 seconds consistently, which is why our linebackers were exposed and our secondary eventually was exposed too. We're just too talented, however, if we do that against a good offense, we're screwed, which we're going to see Thursday night against the Vikings. Because Kirk Cousins will be able to hit his elite receivers in under 3 seconds. The bright side is they didn't look good on the road in bad weather against Belichick, and they still won. Sign of a good team. Thursday, they will put up over 400 yards of offense. Johnny, I would love that to be true. Love that to be true.
I see, and I'm going to tell you this as well. I've never seen Jalen Hurts have 2 bad games since he went to the NFL, even in college. He never had 2 bad games, so
he won't allow himself to.
If that was a bad game for Jalen Hurts and you still won, then I'm all right with that. I'll take that.
Speaking of bad games, JD, your Steelers had a football game this weekend.
Did they?
It was scheduled.
Listen, I don't think we showed up. We didn't even get off the bus.
Why?
Why did they play them? I don't know.
Why did they look so bad?
They stink.
But I tried to tell you that.
Listen, I know they stink. I'm not expecting, rainbows and unicorns. I know they stink. But my issue with them is that it's been a lot of talk about Tomlin never having a losing season. Well, this team is a bad damn team.
It's a bad team.
They're going to have bad team stuff, like getting blown out in the game 1. Now, mind you, San Francisco is a very good team.
Sure.
Very good team. They got dudes everywhere. They got Deebo Samuel, Brock Purdy. They made Ayuk look like damn. Remember when Chase Claypool?
Oh my God! The fact that Brandon Ayuk went off like he did was absurd.
Do you remember the year when Chase Claypool had like 6 touchdowns in a game, and everybody thought he was the next thing since sliced bread?
Yeah, he's about to get cut from the Bears.
Yeah, they were just saying. When I think about it, that's what I think about the Ayuk game. Ayuk is never going to play like that ever again. But because he did it against us, it hurts. Like it hurts more. So
Yeah, the Steelers looked really bad. I think that
Abysmal.
they ignored one of their strengths, which was
Running the ball?
Najee Harris. They didn't use Najee Harris at all. They forced Kenny Pickett to do way too much. And they had no way of stopping a very potent 49ers offense. And Johnny had Brandon Ayuk on his bench. I had Breece Hall on my bench.
Me too, because I didn't think he was going to play.
I had Alexander Mattson on my bench.
My wife had Brandon Ayuk, so
yeah, the Ayuk thing is pretty crucial.
Leave him on the bench. He's not going to play.
I'm going to leave him. I mean, I don't have him. I'm definitely going to leave him on the bench. My other, I have a couple other questions about kind of around the NFL. So some of the big name quarterbacks, week 1
did not play well.
And not enough is being said about the fact that the elite quarterbacks of the NFL looked just okay. The Patrick Mahomes, the Josh Allens, the Joe Burrows all looked human.
Well, it's okay. That's what we're talking about with this maturation period when these guys do not play the offseason. They're not playing in the preseason, so they're not looking good. The signal calling is bad. Like, they got guys running plays in again because just like Little League football, like Bieniemy is gone from Kansas City, so we're really getting to see who really was calling the plays here. Like, Joe Burrow looked very pedestrian. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and again, you got to factor in the weather a little bit. You do have to factor in the weather a little bit because that was really bad weather in.
But guess who played really pretty decent? The guy you guys hate from down there in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, Calvin Ridley went off.
And why did he go off? Because of Trevor freaking Lawrence.
I know. But like,
hey, Tila, Trevor Lawrence on top. Ooh, yeah.
I just think that something's got to be done because otherwise these early matchups, these early games, early on in the season, the first quarter of the season is a waste.
It normally is. It's normally just you just getting your team together. Like, let's call it what it is. Like, the preseason is a joke.
It is, which then leads to the first couple of weeks being a joke. I think that this is one of those situations where you kind of have to go back to what used to work. And Mahomes played a little bit in the preseason. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers played a little bit in the preseason.
But that's just it, y'all. Like, I think people need to realize that playing a little bit and playing meaningful downs is not the same. Like, running around, playing backyard football ain't the same. You need to get into schemes, situation, football, because nobody's got real guys out there. Like, if you're playing a third string defensive line, you're not getting ready for the first string defensive line. And let's just speak about the Cowboys real quick. Everybody's running around talking about the Cowboys is their year. Like,
oh my God.
They played a very fucking bad team.
They played a Giants team. No, you're fine. They played a Giants team that was downright atrocious, and they looked bad. And then they looked even worse than bad. And we know that the Cowboys have a decent roster. We know that they've got some ballers and some players. We know that they were going to come in looking to punch people in the mouth, but it was still the Giants. The Giants might be the worst team in football. Even the Cardinals put up a fight.
Listen, if you are a Giants fan, not only do you play in MetLife, but your team looks like it belongs in MetLife. It's a trash can team. Like, that team is a dumpster fire. Mac Jones, is that Mac Jones? No, they got Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is the Giants.
Daniel Jones looked absolutely ridiculous.
He had no time, and they're paying that man $40 million a year.
That dude threw more interceptions than, I don't even know. Like, he looked like a gunslinger with no gun. Like, he was just out there slinging stuff. He looked bad. Like, but
he doesn't have any guns. Their big pickup was Darren Waller. They still got no receivers. And yes, so Javier's saying they talk about the Cowboys like they just won the Super Bowl. Yes, it is that time of the year where, you know, if you look at the Cowboys spectrum, this is our year.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys beat up on a really bad team.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's where we are right now.
The only other team they could have beat that bad is the Steelers.
I mean, I think that they're going to have some big wins, but I don't think they're the team that everyone wants them to be. Daniel Jones' season last year was the biggest fluke in recent. It wasn't even that good. He is number 16 or 17 as far as quarterbacks go in this league at best, and they paid that man $40 million and gave Saquon Barkley a hard time about re-signing him. It is a
Saquon looked
quarterback
bad,
league.
too, so. He looked bad too, so let's just throw that out there.
The whole team looked bad. And I think that the first week of the NFL looked bad.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to some good matchups.
Go Jacksonville.
Oh, shut up with your Jacksonville.
Don't get mad at me because Trevor Lawrence is the golden boy.
I know he is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, one of our favorite games. Should they be Hall of Famers? Okay, I'm going to pull up some statistics. One is basketball, and one is baseball.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like the baseball one.
One is basketball, one is baseball. So, this player, basketball player, is still playing. Okay. So you really have to look more on the lines of, is he going to be a Hall of Famer on his current trajectory? Okay. So he has played 2 seasons. Okay. So again, current trajectory, you got to think about that. He has played in those 2 seasons 125 total games.
Okay.
So it's not bad. 61 games and 64 games.
Okay.
Okay. Points per game is 10.2 points per game.
Okay.
Half a steal per game, 0.3 blocks per game, 2.6 assists per game, 3.1 rebounds per game. Should this player be a Hall of Famer? He has no awards and nothing of any importance.
No.
Is he on a Hall of Fame trajectory?
I don't see it happening. No.
Any idea who that player might be?
I have no idea.
No clue at all.
I know it's not Edwards.
This player was an undrafted player.
Oh, hell, I definitely ain't going out there. No, I don't know. Who is it? Oh, was it the dude from the Lakers?
It is the dude from the Lakers.
Yeah, that dude's trash.
Austin Reeves. There are people out there saying that he might be the best undrafted player of all time.
No, he's not.
Can you name for me, and again, the way that the logo is, can you name for me just maybe one better undrafted player who limited Kobe and Shaq during his time? Won a defensive player of the year.
Yeah, no.
Ben Wallace is the greatest undrafted player of all time.
Oh, you're right.
Austin Reeves is not anywhere near that conversation.
Not right now. I mean, he's playing on a team that's got LeBron on it. Like, he's not gonna do anything in life.
I tend to agree, but
did
again,
they say that backwards? See what Javier said? He said, "Did they say that backwards?"
They did that backwards. Where he was talking about when we were talking about the Giants and giving Daniel Jones a lot of money and Saquon Barkley no money.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying that they did that the wrong way.
Oh yeah, true.
Agreed. Player number 2, and it's actually going to lead to a little mini shenan. Should this player be in the Hall of Fame? Okay, baseball player. He is a 13-year player.
Okay.
Career record is 130. He's a pitcher. Career record 113 and 62. Career ERA 3.24.
Mm-hmm.
3-time All-Star.
Mm-hmm.
Won a World Series. Was the World Series MVP, I believe.
Yes, if he was the MVP, then yes, he gets in.
Any guesses who that player could be?
Is it Scherzer?
It is not Scherzer. This player is kind of retired. It is not Cole Hamels, Adam Mack.
No. I don't know. Who is it?
It is the one and only Steven Strasburg. Mr. Humongous potential career himself.
Adam Mack came in with the...
Yeah. So here's the thing with Strasburg, right? And this has actually been somewhat of a dramatic situation. They were going to have a retirement press conference at Washington National Stadium, whatever they call it. They canceled it. The plan was to honor him and retire his number, but the Nationals changed what they were doing. And it turns out they came out with a statement that said, and that's what the one in black is over there. He's always an important part of the Washington franchise. We want to support him in any decision he makes, and we'll ensure that he receives what's due. It's regrettable. The private discussions, blah, blah, blah. Collective bargaining agreement, blah, blah, blah. No events ever been confirmed, blah, blah, blah. We hope to have ongoing conversations, blah, blah, blah. We look forward to seeing Steven when we report to spring training. AKA, he's not retiring. Or the Washington Nationals, who had a complete fire sale recently, aren't paying up.
This comment by Adam Mack is
very important. If he had won a Cy Young, it's a no-brainer about the Hall of Fame. Steven Strasburg is one of those players that had humongous hype. And when he was healthy, was an elite pitcher.
My question is,
he was healthy.
The MVP of the
and I got to check on that too.
If that's the case, then he gets in. I don't care nothing about the Cy Young award.
Let me see. He did win the 2019 World Series MVP.
Yeah, then what are we doing? What are we doing? It's easy.
Yeah, I mean, I think personally that he is a Hall of Famer, but I think that the availability thing is really important too.
I guess, but I'm still putting him in MVP of it. Any MVP of the finals or championship should get in because that barely ever happens.
It doesn't. I mean, you have a very elite group of guys, and when he is on, he was dominant. Problem is, he missed so much time for multiple Tommy Johns, multiple injuries, and was never available when they really needed him to be. He was one of the most overhyped superstars to ever play the game.
Fair enough.
Because the best ability is availability.
Ain't that the truth, brother?
Tim Lincecum accomplished way more and never made it. Yeah, 100% true. 100% true. But Tim Lincecum was never as complete.
The MVP of the World Series?
I believe. I don't know if Lincecum won an MVP. I know he won World Series. Tim Lincecum. Let's say.
What a name.
I am not sure. Hold on. His nickname was The Freak. 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Helped the Giants win 3 World Series championships. And 2-time Cy Young Award winner, 3-time NL strikeout leader, pitched 2 no-hitters and a 4-time All-Star. He 100% should be in the Hall of Fame.
But did he win MVP?
No.
Let's put him in, but we also got to put him on Mans though. Go down to Conway's comment.
So this is okay, and I love that. So Conway is one of my peoples. We have this conversation. I say this all the time. And in my opinion, people who belong in the Hall of Fame, not everybody belongs in the Hall of Fame, right? And that's big for the NFL. That's big for, basketball, things like that. Can you write the history of the game without these players? Baseball, they're actually too picky, right? They're too picky. But in this situation, can you write the history of baseball without a guy like Tim Lincecum?
Probably not, because he's got so many awards, and those awards wouldn't have been won by anyone.
Can you write the history of baseball without Steven Strasburg? Probably not. He was that elite. Okay, we're moving and grooving, man. Let's see what we land on. Spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. What are we going to get? Oh, tell me we're going to do some shenanigans. Yay. You know that this is my favorite thing to do. I love me some shenanigans.
For sure. Shenanigan it up.
And I have quite a few prepared for us.
I thought you were going to call it Shenanigan Twain.
Shenanigan Twain?
Wow.
Shenanigans.
You're going to get canceled.
Yes, we are. All right. Shenanigan number 1. It says, I'm going to have to take this banner off because it's killing me real quick.
Please do. It's supposed to say Labor Day, so we're like way past that.
Oh, all right. Well, we don't need all that. Hold on.
Mirror.
All right. So this is probably a little messed up, but it says RIP to the Aaron Rodgers Jets era, which lasted from 8:15 to 8:26.
I saw one that said pronounced dead. Like career
I mean,
pronounced dead.
I've seen all of them. I've seen the one where Peter Griffin throws himself down the stairs. I have seen the one where I've seen them all. And it's his Jets season highlights, and it's literally just him running out with the flag.
I saw one queued up to the song. It's closing time. It's closing time.
It is so like it's sad. Like to start off, it is sad.
It's disheartening.
Like it completely rearranges the Jets' plans and the Jets' season, but the numbers of it all. Yep, there you go. Gone in 60 seconds. Wow.
Gone with the wind. Gone with the turf.
I saw one where it's Aaron Rodgers on a jet, and it's like Aaron Rodgers season, and the jet goes right up and then just crashes. I've seen a clip from the movie Troy where Brad Pitt's character is trying to pick up the girl at the end, and they shoot the arrow through his foot.
Damn.
Through the Achilles. I won't repeat, but folks use the city and date to reference. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh.
I'm not repeating that one because that's not a cool shenan. And that's where the internet really is undefeated at a lot of times.
Listen, though, that is telling. I'm not gonna lie.
It was just everything was set up for them to be super successful. That's really a big deal, right? That's how far people go. Yeah, the internet can be a very dark place, for sure. For sure.
Listen, man. Yeah. Yep.
You want,
only thing, I'm just gonna lie. Like a lot of bad things happened on September 11th. I'm not gonna lie. It's not just the Aaron Rodgers thing or September 11th that we all know. It's a lot of bad stuff happened. I don't do anything on September 11th. It's bad. It's bad for business.
Bad juju.
Definitely bad juju. I got a daughter named Juju, so
bad juju. Shenan number 2. Pick your trio. You have $5.
It's easy.
Okay. You have to have one quarterback, one running back, and one wide receiver. I have mine pretty much locked up, ready to go.
Me too.
You may go first. Dealer first.
As a guy who's been telling you guys about this man since
I knew you were doing it.
I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
For $2. But
$2.
But I would easily take Trevor Lawrence.
I know you would do that too.
And then I'm gonna go Saquon. And then I'll take Garrett Wilson, because that makes it $5.
That would be $5. Yeah. And that was a route I was gonna go. I could also very happily go Jalen Hurts for 2. Josh Jacobs for 1, because there's another power back right there. So that's $3. And then take Tyreek Hill with my extra monies.
Yes, what I would have did.
That's a pretty powerhouse group.
And I'm not willing to pay $3 for any of these fools.
That's so I would pay $3 for Jamar Chase. But Nick Chubb, I'm not willing to pay, because I think what really worked for Nick Chubb was him being partnered with Kareem Hunt. I think that Josh Allen has to get back to doing what he was known for. But a lot of people are coming out now and saying he is a rich man's Carson Wentz. Like he had that one elite season, but now he's kind of doing what Carson did. JD has thoughts about that.
I'm very much a believer that Carson Wentz is a bum, a career bum, and he should be wrapped in bubble wrap. So if that's the type of player that Josh Allen is, then Lord be with us all. That's what I said. Allen is not worth $3, buddy. T-Law, I'm telling y'all, you heard it here first. T-Law is going to have an MVP type season this year. With those receivers that he's got Christian Kirk, he's got he's got Calvin Ridley, he's got ETN. That dude's gonna ball out. I'm telling you, watch.
So let's see.
Division.
Javier's taking Lawrence, Barkley, and Hill. Yeah, I mean that's pretty studly.
Listen, man, I'm with it. You better come with the shenanigans.
You want another shenan?
No. I'm just saying that one I was happy with.
All right, this is a non-sports shenan, because I know we have 1 or 2 people watching that are non-sports people.
Okay.
I'm a teacher. This one hurts me. And I know Conway's watching. This one hurts me. A tweet has gone viral asking which pen is the best. I'm going to let you go first.
Personally, as a teacher,
any way you want to take this.
I hated gel pens, but they wrote the best. So I'm going to go with number 1.
No.
Number 1 is one of my favorite pens.
No. Adam says 3. Javier says 5. No.
I can't write with 5 or 3 because I've had too many like that didn't work when they come out the box. Fresh out the box. Too many.
So right away, I'm eliminating 1, 4, and 7 because they are just not for me.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You said it's
one of my kind of my old school 7. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm not a fan of old school 7. And Conway, I'm talking directly to you because of what Billick used to do with the pen caps. That's all I'm going to say.
Caps do suck.
It has to be the clip pen, man. No, I appreciate you. Yeah, no cap on that one, Javier. I appreciate all of you, but you're all wrong, and I'm going to tell you why. It is.
Right, we talk offline about what he did with this.
Yeah, it is number 6. The felt tip pens.
No, absolutely
are
not.
Premium elite.
You say elite?
Premium elite. When I teach note taking to my students, that's the pens that we use.
That's basically a marker.
You're basically a marker.
I'm just being honest.
So
now, if you would have said 2, now 2 I can get down with.
2 I always enjoyed. Yeah, see? There you go. My street cred goes off the charts here. So like for me, 6 is like when I'm trying to like write really nicely and do things. If I'm just going like quick grabbing a pen, it's 3 or 5. I'm cool with 3 or 5. I love me a good gel pen. But I'm also a lefty, so that's part of my problem.
But half of the reason that I'm doing away from 3 and 5 because when you get them out the box, sometimes they just do not write. I don't know what they do with the gel. Like I don't know if it like freezes or something.
You got to shake it up.
Even if you shake it, sometimes it does not work. I've got
right. So you know what's really good then is pen number 6. And they come in all the great colors, man. Like come on.
Pen is a number 6 is a marker.
You're a marker.
Don't get mad about it. It's what it is. Those are little kids' markers. Like if you get the little what is that?
Don't you be dropping Crayola up in here.
Crayola markers.
Now, as long as you said Crayola instead of rose art, because you know if you were rocking the rose art, you were like poor.
You're poor. If you had rose art, you're poor. Like don't come in with a rose art. Like that means y'all are doing bad. Like that means y'all on government assistance and y'all are doing really, really bad.
Listen, you know I'm a lefty. I'm a lefty. It's what I do. It's why I think from the opposite side of things.
But the reason that you said that the rose arts wasn't popping, the rose arts was popping.
That just flashed you back to every school supply any of you have ever bought. All right.
What about the note cards that they made you buy even though you didn't really ever need them?
Oh, we use note cards in my class. We actually use them.
No, I'm talking. You're in high school and middle school. They used to make us get them in elementary school.
Oh yeah, no, you don't need that. No.
That was just for the teachers.
All right. Build a starting 5 without using any of these players.
What? Okay. Like in all time?
All time.
All right. I can do this. This is easy.
Okay.
Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson's an easy one, no doubt.
Okay. Charles Barkley.
Yep. Round mound to rebound. Sure.
I will go Tim Duncan.
Okay, so in that situation, who do you have playing center and who do you have playing power forward? Because you have very similar skill sets.
With Tim
Barkley
Duncan.
And Tim Duncan.
Oh, Tim is playing center and Charles Barkley's playing 4.
Okay.
Or 3, depending on who my 4th is.
Okay. So you got KG. Iverson, you got you would pick KD.
KG.
Oh, he's not on there. Yeah. Okay.
Kevin Garnett. And then I'm gonna go KD. Mess the game up. I got length, I got a little size, and I got a guy that can play point guard but can still score.
Okay. Well, here's mine. Because I've been thinking about this, right? Obviously Allen Iverson's a no-brainer. That one's easy. I'm going to take Dr. J as my 3.
Okay.
Okay, so I got Iverson and Dr. J. Yep. It's like Johnny was right there. I'm going to take David Robinson at center.
I thought about him too. I did think about him.
I'm going to take David Robinson at center. I'm going to take Dennis Rodman at the power forward.
He's short.
And I'm going to take Isaiah Thomas as my point guard.
I've been done with Zeke since the Michael Jordan documentary came out.
But that's what I'm doing. I could also pick up Scottie Pippen anywhere as well.
I've been done with Scottie Pippen ever since his wife started dating. His ex-wife started dating Michael Jordan's son.
My point is like you talk about these 10 players. These 10 players are obviously elite, but there are other really great players in the NBA history. Like you have so many great players. You could take Giannis if you really wanted to. I don't, but you could. You could take Klay Thompson if you really wanted to. I don't, but you could.
I wouldn't take Klay.
I wouldn't take Klay either. You could take Russell Westbrook if you wanted. I wouldn't, but you could.
You can take Carmelo.
I might take Carmelo. I like the idea of Carmelo. You could take Kevin Durant. You did.
I did take.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. You
KD
could take James Harden.
KD and KG changed the game for you because they're so tall. They can play multiple positions, and so it creates a lot of like mismatches, even for like Dr. J or for like Wilt Chamberlain.
E-Money chiming in here saying he's already got his Eagles prediction locked and loaded, 57-10 on Thursday night.
I'm not mad about that.
I'd be fine with it. Give me a nice easy night.
Yeah, I think they need something. Is that one at the link?
Yes.
Live from the link.
Okay, so you can't read this, but basically this says, tell me why. Nothing. All right, so tell me why you can't have 4 Warrior starters just lock arms, form a ring around Steph Curry so he can just take open jump shots from no one around him.
Tell me why you can't.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I don't think anyone will let you just link arms like that without.
Why not? Adam, we couldn't use Kareem because Kareem was on the you can't use him list. See?
Yeah.
Right there. Top row, last on the right.
Yeah, we had limited finances.
You can't do this? This wasn't a great offensive strategy?
No, bro, because it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
All you need is a little bit of space.
It's a moving screen at that point.
Why? You're giving their back to them, so they'd be running into you as defenders.
Yeah, but you still can't. You still have to be in legal. You still have to give me legal guarding position. And when that guy has his back turned like that, like I can get an offensive foul if I turn my back to you. So technically, if I'm pushing you back with my back turned, it can still be an offensive foul. It can be a moving screen.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Forward or backwards can be a moving screen. It's like if you steal off a guy sometimes, they call you for an offensive foul for that now.
I'm just saying, I like this.
It's illegal.
We're going to talk about the FIBA starting lineup in a second.
Thanks, Steve.
Build your ideal Team USA starting lineup. One from each row.
I'm going to go Curry.
Okay.
He's a champion.
Right.
I'm going to go Devin Booker.
Okay.
Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
KD.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost identical, except I take Jimmy Butler instead of Tatum. I take Klay instead of Booker because the Steph and Klay connection already. I'll take KD along with you. I agree. And I'm taking Embiid. So my big changes are Jimmy Butler and Klay instead.
So basically taking the Warriors.
I'm taking I'm taking 2 Warriors, a Jimmy Butler,
3 Warriors,
a former Warrior,
that's 3
and a
Warriors.
Joel Embiid.
Yeah, so 3 Warriors and a Joel Embiid and a Jimmy Butts.
I'll take a Jimmy Butts. That's a killer right there.
You're taking 2 Sixers and a 2 Warriors.
Yep, sounds
Warriors.
good to me.
Okay,
sounds great. Can't wait. Steph, Klay, LeBron, KD, and Joel. Okay, and then Javier says Curry, Brown, Butler, KD, and Embiid. Yeah, I think the Jaylen Brown is an interesting pick. Moving forward, so we're going to talk about the USA thing. I'm gonna come back to that, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. JD, please pick one to join your squad.
TJ Watt, the dude's he's just in in Pittsburgh to he's just there to collect dust because he's never going to win anything there.
So you're starting your squad with TJ Watt.
Yeah, because he's just had such a tough go at it, and I believe that I could make his life a little better.
I love both of these players as far as what they do on the field.
Yeah, Bosa gets hurt all the time.
Nick Bosa gets hurt all the time, and as far as human stuff goes, he's not like really. He's not like the nicest guy. So I'm taking TJ Watt all day and every day because give me a Watt any day of the week. Now they're both pretty dominant, but TJ Watt is just a little better in my mind.
Yep.
The final shenan that I have is one of my favorite things. In a soccer game, somebody somewhere, referee comes out and gives a yellow card. Player comes up to the official, pulls out of his pocket a reverse green card.
I'm not mad for that, sir. You must be allowed to stay in the game.
He was not thrown out of the game. I would have.
Did he play another card? Did he play another card after that?
He did not play another card.
I mean, well, it's his turn because he reversed back to him. So it's.
But my question is, how many games did this player have a card in his pocket for waiting to go? Like, was this like the first time he had it, or was like he been waiting?
I feel like at that point I would have had to draw 4, and I would have been like, it's only right.
Oh, yeah, and Adam, 100% right. If this is happening in the NFL, the MLB, the NBA, they'd be banned for life. MLB especially, right? That would be a 50-game suspension, no doubt in my mind.
What if a guy ran out and threw out a white flag? Like, they throw the yellow flag, a guy threw a white flag to basically in like protest to the yellow flag.
Javier, the ref. Well played, sir. It's almost like the old thing. Gabriel Iglesias did this whole thing about how if you can make a cop laugh, he's not going to give you a ticket.
Facts. I mean, it's got to be a rule. It's an unspoken rule.
I feel like it's like this is hysterical.
I mean, especially because I'm not the guy and I'm not the coach. But if I'm the coach of that player, I'm pissed off a little bit. I'm not.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember when Adrian Beltre got told he had to stand in the on deck circle, so he grabbed the on deck circle because it's like a put down mat and drug it to where he was standing, and he got himself thrown out, ejected.
That's fair.
I enjoy a good shenan. You know me.
We had a lot of shenanigans.
We had a lot of shenanigans tonight. All right, back to the wheel. We got 3 topics left, and they should go decently quickly.
We're at the 45-minute mark. We're done. Well, 48-minute mark.
Oh, this is your wheelhouse, sir.
Colorado. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. So let me ask you a question here.
Let's go.
Obviously, the huge upset of the weekend was Alabama losing to Texas.
Was it?
Did you have that? Did you expect that to happen?
Yes.
You did? Oh, tell me more.
I just think that Nick Saban and Dabo are in these positions where they've been on top of the mountain for so long that people are not only have caught up with them recruiting wise, but they're just not like you just don't have to go there to win. You just don't need to, and I'll be the first to say that like Texas isn't necessarily back, but they've been coming back for a while, and so they're joining the SEC soon, so they're going to need that's what I mean. If you're going to the SEC, you need to be able to compete with SEC teams. So that is like the first step in Texas being able to say, "Hey, listen, we're going to compete with these SEC teams." But I did have them beating them. That was my upset of the week. That's what I had picked. That's my upset.
Yeah, I think the thing that surprised me the most is the way that they hyped up the game, saying that they had no chance at all to upset this exceptional Alabama team. And they went in and they kind of whooped some ass.
Listen, they punched them in the mouth and they didn't quit. And when Alabama gets punched in the mouth, it says something. It speaks that they looked Alabama looked undisciplined and unprepared. So shout out to Sarkisian because he's an offensive mind and his team played like they were offensive.
Yeah, Adam, it's not an upset when Texas is the better team and should have won. Right? Conway saying he loves what Coach Prime is doing. Johnny saying the Cowboys will fall short again. Deion will have a great year in Colorado. Jerry Jones can't help himself, and then he'll hire Deion. Ooh.
All right. First of all, number one, Deion will never coach the Dallas Cowboys. That would not happen because him and Jerry Jones cannot coexist.
No.
Because he's already showing you that I'm going to be Deion Sanders is the premier coach. So you're not going to bring him in a place with Jerry Jones, who's trying to still coach the team, even though he's the damn GM. So that will never work. Number two, Deion is probably going to end up at Florida State. But I'm just kind of happy Florida State's actually winning with Mike Norvell. So there'll be no reason to replace him. However, I do believe that I believe this is a hot take. I believe that Colorado makes the college football playoff.
Wow.
And not only do they make the playoff, they knock off Oregon and they knock off USC in the regular season to get there.
So one of my questions for you is, now that Alabama has this terrible loss, we know that one-loss teams can make the college football playoffs. Does Alabama come all the way back?
Well, Alabama does help a cause for a team like Clemson, because they will also be a one-loss team. LSU is also a one-loss team. So there's a lot of schools that are one-loss teams right now going into week 3 and looking to kind of not take themselves out of the game. Clemson has got 2 opportunities this year, and I just say it because Clemson is my team. I think they stink, but they have 2 opportunities to prove to the committee that they deserve to be in it, which I don't think they do, but they can prove it. Is they play Florida State next weekend, and they have Notre Dame also at Clemson. Both those games are at Clemson. They play Florida State, I'm pretty sure, during a day game at 12 o'clock. So. Listen. All
right, which game are you watching this week? Which game is that upset alert?
I'm gonna pull up the thing because I wrote it down, but I need to make sure I get the spread right.
There's not a lot of really great games. I'm gonna be honest.
There's not normally, but you know what I'm saying. There's
like the Georgia-South Carolina game that could be really good.
Georgia will not lose to South Carolina.
They're not going to lose, but it could be that game that's like, oh snap, this team came to play a little bit.
Nah, South Carolina stinks.
Oh, okay, well there you go.
They're a dumpster fire. All right, sneaky good upset game. Florida State at Boston College.
You think?
I'm looking at other games.
That's what I said, and JD told me no.
What?
That South Carolina, Georgia might be that fun game.
It won't be. It'll be the sneaky good game where North Carolina could get upset by Minnesota. I think that Minnesota is underrated as shit.
Okay.
Minnesota would be a good one. Watch out for Michigan State because of all the drama they have going on with their coach.
More drama. That could be a big distraction. And
they could go in there and beat Washington.
Oh, you think that they're going to kind of pull together as a team and do a job?
Yeah, because if they don't really want the coach anymore, that's the best way to get rid of them, is prove that they don't need him to win.
Didn't think of it that way. Okay. Cool. Okay.
Just throwing it out there. Sneaky games, Minnesota over in North Carolina, and possibly what's the other one I said?
Michigan State over
Michigan State over Washington.
Okay.
I just don't believe in any Pac-12 team, especially against a Big Ten team.
Well, it's kind of hard to. I mean, they haven't proven themselves at all.
Yeah, that's what makes me believe Colorado can beat any school that's in the Pac-12.
It's not even worth it. I mean, we'll spin the wheel real quick just so we know which of the 2 topics we're talking about. And Adam, I'm glad that you're still hopping on here. The Phillies, they're making a final push for the playoffs. They're making a final push for the wild card. And once again, what has come under big concern is the pitching staff. It's the pitching staff in general. You had on Saturday night, you had Aaron Nola come out and pitch, and he goes through 5 innings, 2-hit baseball, and then absolutely implodes. They end up losing the game. I mean, this team is not trustworthy when it comes to the pitching staff. You're hitting the ball out of the park at absolutely stupid rates. You know, you broke baseball records for how many home runs you hit in August, and yet the pitching cannot get the job done for the most part. If the starting pitchers do get it done, then the bullpen blows it. It is becoming a glaring problem, and I don't know how they have a deep run into the postseason if they're able to get into the postseason. Yeah, Javier, it's the damn pitching. Once again, we tied the game, and then the pitching messed it up for us, right? Bryce Harper hits a 2-run home run with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth to push us into extra innings. We still somehow lose the game.
So when I was young, my granddaddy used to watch baseball.
Mm-hmm.
He used to tell me all the time that the reason why a lot of teams have these great hitters is because they know they need it to even be competitive. So you either spend money on hitters or you spend money on pitching, but you can win with bad. You can win with bad hitting. You can't really win with bad pitching because defenses always win championships, and pitching, I assume, is a part of defense.
Yeah, a little bit. You got to have a guy that can throw strikes and not get it hit all over the park. Javier, I'm talking about the one yesterday or on Monday. Yeah, yesterday was Monday, right? Or Sunday, whenever they played the doubleheader. They played a doubleheader. Harper hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the ninth, and then they blew it in the 10th.
Listen, there's a lot to be doing, but it always boils down to bad pitching and bad. Their whole farm system for pitchers and bullpen has been a problem. Like I said, for 7-8 years at this point, and they don't seem to think it's a problem, and they're not going to address it. So they can spend all the money and get all these hitters that they want, and they'll have to continue to hit 6, 7, 8.
Showing once again that Aaron Nola should not be a part of this long-term program.
Listen, he shouldn't, but until they get someone better, that's what you got.
But they can get people. That's just my point. They've got younger guys coming up. That you don't need to re-spend that money on something that you have now seen consistently doesn't work. Last thing I want to talk about tonight. I don't need to pull the wheel back up, but I do need to pull up this. The men's U.S. national basketball team trotted out some players. They said this is the USA basketball team, and they got mollywopped.
Yes.
Straight up mollywopped by teams that were not good.
Pedigree. They didn't have winning pedigree. And we are going to struggle because we don't have all of our size is international players. The biggest guy we have there that's homegrown from the United States is Anthony Davis. And his nickname is Street Clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So you have him, maybe Nick Claxton from the New Jersey Nets.
Brooklyn. They from Brooklyn.
New Jersey Nets.
Oh, okay.
So you just got all these guys that are not of any size. We got America is mostly guards and skill players now. And then the big guys that we do have, they don't play in the post. So when we get down to these FIBA
and international basketball is intense.
Yeah, it's rough. It's very rough, man. So we're going to continue to struggle, and we got to put our best out there because they're sending their best to play in the NBA. So they're getting better while we are kind of sending out guys that are trash cans.
And you look at the guys so Germany won this year.
That's Schroeder.
You've got Schroeder, you've got 2 Wagners, you've got Daniel Theis, and nobody else from the NBA.
Because we are letting their players come here to get better, but we're not getting better. And then we're putting out a product that's lesser because we don't have our superstars that want to do this shit during the offseason.
And they're already saying, LeBron's 2024, I'm coming to the Olympics. What happened to I forget who put it out there, but someone said we need to go back to a time where you have to try out to be on the USA national basketball team.
Or you just say, hey, if you made the All-Star team, you have to play you have to play and if you're from this country, you have to play to represent us.
How do you push that through on the CBA?
Well, you have to add it because if you're gonna let us not be a premier league, if this is the premier league in the NBA, then why we have a premier league of all basketball, but then not have the best of our shining guys playing to represent our country. So there's also that. And then we'll have to have one of these redeem teams or one of these dream teams, and then we'll go annihilate everyone. And then we'll be like, but NBA basketball is back, or American basketball is the best. And we know it is, but if there's ever a time where our pedigree is being challenged is right now because you let all of their great players come over here and play against us, get better in our systems, get better in our leagues, get better in our schools, our colleges.
Yep.
Then we need to start kicking their ass and let them know, like, hey, we could take this all away if we want.
And you need to represent your country. Like, you have to.
Yeah. Like, guys just sitting now, they're not playing. That's crazy to me.
So that was my big thing. It was just a very disappointing tournament to kind of follow along.
And if you're not going to have them play, then you need to stop letting international players come play in the NBA.
Right. Which will never happen. It's too much of a moneymaker.
Mm-hmm. Because our lesser players go over there to overseas and play in their leagues.
Yeah, Dwight Howard drops 80-some points, and he's like, I can still play in the NBA. It's like, nah, Dwight, maybe you can't. You're dunking on 5'6" people from Asia.
China. Yeah.
China. All right. What are you doing this week? Talk to me. We got it done in an hour and 2. Talk to me.
Definitely dealing with the consoling in from the mouth situation. I'm feeling a lot better. Hopefully I'll get some sleep tonight. First night in a while. Haven't been in a mouth sling. Fall league basketball going on right now. Getting rolling. Getting ready for the season. Season starts in November, so we're gonna be starting to scheme up everything. Talk about like processes of this season soon. So how we want to kind of like handle things from the basketball perspective, and of course, high school football still going on down here. So that's getting pretty good. So
I like it. Busy week over here. We got, our Eagles Vikings preview tomorrow night on the AAT Birds, AAT Sports Network over there. Then we got Eagles Vikings on Thursday. So we get that right out of the way. And then we got, fall baseball all weekend where I'm umping and actually umping the kids' game. So that'll be fun. But he's definitely striking out looking 100%. I want a nice quiet. I have to umpire for my kid this weekend. Dude, I'm punching him out. You're gone.
Oh, man.
Nice quiet ride home.
Listen, what's gonna happen is he's gonna hit one out the park, and
I would love him to.
And he's gonna bat flip that shit.
I would have to eject him.
Listen, bat flip. It's all right, Mom. It's all right, Dad. I want to give you some of this. You wanted to call it out. I was trying to show you. It wasn't a ball. I know balls and strikes.
No, he doesn't. He can't see. He doesn't wear his glasses.
Oh, but yeah, man. But other than that, you guys, that's all you got going on.
That's all we got going on. It's a lot, but we got it. Shout out to everyone who watched with us tonight. Javier, Johnny, Adam, Conaway. I mean, you guys rolled in deep tonight and kept it going. E-Money rolling in with a sweet comment about scores. I think I said Javier. You guys, we love you. We appreciate you.
Yeah. I think this is a little later than most times. Well, we come on right at the same time.
I was a
little nervous about the 2 situation. I'm not lying.
Well,
but I made it.
You go all good. Y'all good. Hi, brother man.
I'm Drip.
I'm Chip.
Damn, which way?
I think you zigged me. You're supposed to zag. Okay, bye.